again. I'm like shoveling M&Ms in and playing Spyro.
That's exactly what I want to hear.
Right, so talk about the visuals.
Yeah,
You spent a lot of time making this game look really good for PlayStation 4.
Sure. So we were trying to really make sure we respected the sense of wonder that you get when you were first playing the game. These were open worlds, and there were just huge vistas that you were exploring. And so when we were starting this, we used this Toasty level as one of our benchmark levels so that we could see how we could take the art and where we could push it so that it still feels alive. So you'll see things here like the grass will move with you, and as you play in it, you can still singe it, which is super fun. But then we also added details like putting ivy on the masonry and then pennants and stuff like that. So there are a lot of opportunities where we could add life around throughout the world.
Yeah, I mean, I call it retro tinted spectacles. When you remember a game, but then when you go back and play it, you're like, oh,
Ooh, we didn't
yeah,
look that
actually,
good.
that was because the old Spyro games were really, they were big,
Right.
like
Yes.
the first like 3D open worlds. But if you go back, it's kind of empty.
It's kind of empty. So you have some really crazy tech to make these games. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, totally. So we did not have source code to build it from, and our engineers spent some time building a thing that they called Spyroscope. Essentially, Spyro under a microscope. But what that really means is, how do we make sure these jumps here are the right height? And when you have the controller in your hands, if you played it 20 years ago, you have that muscle memory. You're like,
Right.
oh my God, this is exactly how he's supposed to run and fly. And that's totally where I'd bonk my
And you ran into a wall.
No, totally. But we wanted to make sure we were paying the right amount of respect to that. So people who have that deep-seated memory, they're still going to be able to feel that again here. And that's part of the joy that we've had, too, is just being able to explore that and watch me die by sleeping
Watch you
dogs a
die.
lot. Yeah.
So when you were remaking these 3 games, what were some of the other things that was really, really important to get right for this franchise?
So the art and the gameplay, like the muscle memory, really led the way. And we had opportunities like in here. This is Nevin's castle. And so Nevin, as I die again, he was, we wanted to really emphasize the artisans. So this is the first area of the first game. All the dragons that have been turned to crystal are now, well, they were artisans. So we have like a painter, sculptor, a barista.
Yeah.
It's all over the place. But it was a fun opportunity to just start building those worlds. And so if you look around here as I'm trying to avoid the dogs, there are all the places that Nevin would visit, some of his friends. He has a self-portrait in there. And it's just little touches that make the world feel alive. Stay away from me, dog.
But even look at the reflection on the floor when you're running.
Yeah.
Like that's what you can do now. That's what graphics let us do.
Yeah, it's just a whole bunch of freedom to tell a story while still respecting the original story.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's been super fun. It's even been to the point where we have a number of people at the studio. Oh, of course. A number of the people at the studio are like super fans. So we were able to engage them about, hey, is this sleeping dog big enough? Is this shepherd really menacing enough with how he's animating? Like, what kind of things do we need to do to make this feel the way that you felt when you were a kid playing it? And we wanted to make sure that we're respecting not just the original rules of the game, but the way the feelings came about with people.
Yeah.
Also, the sound design was very important. Can you talk about sound a little bit?
Yeah.
Voice actors?
It's sort of hard to hear in here, but we did some elements all over the place in the sound. We tried to make it so that it's more dynamic. When you're inside of an interior, the sound will dim a little bit and sort of give you an ambience and a sense of place. Versus if you go to fight a boss, you're going to have extra layers of audio coming in with additional instrumentation and more percussion. Even with that, we added percussion to the steps as you're running around so that you have more of a sense of what it's like being a dragon.
I mean, there's going to be a whole generation of people who will only know Spyro from the Toys to Life Spyro. Like, they won't. This will be their first time.
Yeah, this will be their first time playing all these
I grew up
games.
with.
This is like, we like to think of this as a totally separate beast from Skylanders, which is cool. Because like this was the foundation that gave us inspiration to Skylanders in the first place. But we want to make sure that this is done justice the right way. The fans have really been outpouring their support with how much they like the original character and want to make sure that we're doing him right. And so that's totally on the forefront of everyone at Toys for Bob's mind.
Now, since we're going to go see one of the dragons,
I'm gonna head
it's a good
right
time
there.
to mention the voice actors.
Yeah, totally. So the voice of Spyro in the second and third games was Tom Kenny. And since we're doing the trilogy, we wanted to unite them. So he's doing all 3 games worth.
Oh, so he's
Spyro
voicing all
Reignited.
3 games. Nice.
But while we're here, let's see a dragon.
Nevin!
Hey, there we go. didn't look that good 20 years ago.
Has put one of his most devious henchmen in charge of the artisan world.
Bring him on. I think I smell a barbecue.
Be careful, Spyro. Toasty has many tricks up his sleeve.
Oh, that part gets me. I love it because we're able to keep the same audio, like the spirit of the original audio, but then through a lot of the models, you're getting a lot more gesticulation in the acting there. So even like when Spyro is doing his little wiggle as he's jumping, it's just sort of like, oh, I love that.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So here is Toasty. I swear I did better yesterday.
We were talking about this yesterday. You're like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah. So Toasty is actually a disgruntled sheep dressed up as a scarecrow. I'm gonna chase him because he's hilarious when he runs.
The noise, the pitter-patter of the feet,
Yeah, the
just
pitter-patter.
brings back that memory to me.
Yeah.
These are my favorite comments now. Oh my god, why don't they just get someone who can play the game?
Yep.
You're like, dude, he's making
be
it.
great.
Like, he's made the game.
Like, you make the game, you should be an expert at it, right?
Yep.
That's the lie that we always tell everyone.
You should be
I'm an expert
passionate
at
about
dying.
it. That's what's more important.
So the Spyro series has a rabid, really active fan base. How has the fan reaction been so far?
We've seen a lot that we've loved too. People have been outpouring how they're feeling about the design of the characters, and it's just been sweet to see.
Look at Toasty.
A lot of times, a lot of times the studio will actually look through some of the comments just as inspiration.
Nice.
It helps people feel like just super pumped to get through the rest.
Yeah, your work is definitely appreciated.
Yeah, get rid of the ads, and then we can just
There we go.
concentrate. Right.
Get there eventually.
You did it!
So yeah, this is just a brief taste of the Spyro Reignited Trilogy.
So since we have a few minutes, you
Yes.
think you could show us the time attack? So
Of course.
I was very lucky. I actually got to see Spyro yesterday, as we mentioned. You did the demo of this time attack level for us, and you did a really, really good time. You did 1 minute 40,
No
Yeah.
pressure.
which
Yeah.
knocked 10 seconds
It
off
had.
the best time before
It
you.
was pretty
So
good.
when we were chatting, I was like, I'm going to ask you to come and do this on the stage, and I want to
Live.
see if you can beat your own time. So we're looking for a 1 minute 40.
The piece you missed is someone got to 128 yesterday at the
What?
end of the day. Yeah, it was awesome. It wasn't.
Okay, we're not aiming. I'm not going to make you do a
I'm gonna
128.
aim for the 140.
We'll do 140.
Yeah.
Yeah, the time attack stuff always makes my palms sweat, so you did very, very well. Rob from PlayStation Access did this, and he got 2 minutes. So,
Oh yeah. Sweet.
So on this particular mode, so that you're concentrating, there are certain things we have to destroy, and you have to destroy all of them before the time runs out. If you do it successfully, it adds additional time so that we can keep flying. And that is the challenge.
These planes are the bane of my existence in this level.
We've got this. Ramon's watching this like, hell no. He's like, hell.
Not happening.
Looks like you're making good time.
No, I gotta get that plane too.
Go for those gates.
The team is gonna be embarrassed by me.
There he is. Yes.
I love that this is a good example of how big the world can be too. Even as I know I'm about to lose.
A live demo, the first live demo of Spyro Reignited Trilogy with the co-head of the studio Toys for Bob, Paul Yan. Paul, great to see you, man. This is exciting because we've seen the trailers. Now we get to see the real gameplay. And Paul, you were kind enough to let Bossman have some fun with Spyro. So, you know, Activision had an incredible year last year, mastering Crash Bandicoot. I think everyone was secretly hoping Spyro was next, and you made those hopes a reality when you announced it. So tell us a bit about Toys for Bob you know, remastering this classic franchise. First of all, why did you guys want to do this?
Because the fans have been clamoring for this. I mean, everyone's been wanting to see that ever since, like you said, when Crash came out. Everyone wanted to see this. So it was a huge opportunity for us. And this year is really important. This September is the 20th anniversary of his debut on PS1. And so we're talking about 3 generations ago. There's a huge opportunity for us to bring some modern sensibilities to this classic gameplay. This is the golden age of platformers, and it's really lovely.
So I can't headbutt the dogs, right? I should not try to headbutt the dogs?
Your strategy, you told me you're an expert before we did.
I said that to everybody.
Just so you could play the game. So one thing I wanted to ask about was remastering this, you know, when BV went in for Crash, and a lot of people were wondering, like, well, you know, how are they going to change the physics? How, like, so, you know, there's a lot that has to go in to remastering a game. It's not just sort of, you know, up-resing it. So tell us about what work did you have to do to sort of, you know, truly remaster this? Because even now, I mean, the visual fidelity, I'm really impressed with sort of the particles and the motion blur and everything. Tell us, you know, did you really build it from the ground up again?
We did.
Yeah.
It's a similar process with Crash. And the first question we asked was, is there source material? And the answer was no. We actually reached out to the Insomniac crew, and they're not a part of this project or anything, but we did talk to them, and it was lost. That data was lost in one of their moves.
That's funny, because Naughty Dog, I remember they actually did have some of the original geometry that they saved for Crash, but so you guys really, did off-site, basically, of like playing through the game?
We had, a lot of it was by eye, but we also built a lot of custom tools that we called Spyroscope. One of our engineers, Steve at Toys for Bob, built this. And so we put Spyro under a microscope, and we're actually able to extract a lot of the metrics. So there's really 2 goals that we had. On the creative side is to embellish on the visuals in a really new way, but on the mechanical side, on the design side, we want to recreate it to be exactly true and as an homage to that experience, so that all of that muscle memory of your controller, it all rushes right back. So the tool Spyroscope actually was able to extract the placement, the scale, the actual the vertex information of the levels, and we actually did frame analysis on the jump itself as well. So like at frame 3, how high is he? What's his speed?
That's amazing. You have to do it sort of literally just off the old game disc. Kyle, how does it play?
Good.
Yeah?
We have a little bit of like through the TV, we have a little bit of like live YouTube lag, but we're doing great. I've just beat it, right?
Okay, there you did it. So even with your delay, Kyle, you're still a master at the first level of Spyro.
We're gonna do the second level now, though.
Okay.
Second level. So this is a lot more challenging. Treetops is actually really notorious. I think Cerny had a hand in making this one a little bit difficult to chain all of the...
Mark Cerny special? Okay. Yeah, I look forward to seeing this. So you're showing 2 levels here, and it's coming out later this year, right?
Yes, September 21st.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be on PS4 and Xbox One.
Okay. Both platforms right off the bat. We got to get the Switch version, not yet?
Not talking about anything else. Right now, we're super excited about getting him up in high definition on these major platforms.
Oh, yeah. No, I have it on both platforms right off the bat. And I have to say, like, the fire and those effects, it's you know, I remember it from the 90s, and it's amazing what you guys have done remastering it. And it's all the games, all the levels, right? Completely remastered?
Yes. There's a lot of them.
Spyroscope went through it all?
It went through it all. It's over 400 characters, over 100 levels. It's a big pack for $39.99.
I was going to say, lots of content. So flying around here, Bossman, even with a little bit of lag. So what are your memories of playing Spyro, Bossman?
I played the third one. I played Enter the Dragon. That's the third one, yeah?
Yeah, and you played...
Year of the Dragon. Spyro.
Year of the Dragon.
Year of the Dragon, yeah. Okay. So I played Year of the Dragon. I love it.
You're probably too young for the original Spyro.
I was not too young for the original Spyro.
How old were you in 1998?
I can't do that math right now.
All right. A young
13?
boy.
I guess I was 13.
Yeah. Perfect age to start playing Spyro, right? Exactly. Yeah. If only Mr. and Mrs. Bossman let you.
I think I was 98. Like I'm playing Metal Gear Solid, man.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I was a tough boy.
Stay focused on Spyro here.
Okay.
A guess for Spyro. He's talking about Metal Gear. I apologize, Paul.
Okay, so I should not have done that.
It's all right. It's fine. And you shouldn't have done that either, falling off the ledge.
I told you it was going to be hard.
Well, so
wait, do these like do these boost me?
They do.
Okay, so I should have.
So you got to do a supercharge and then carry that through.
All right. Just a little early. Here we go. And
then jump.
now, come on, Spyro. There you go, baby.
There you go. Oh, yeah, Bossman, right through.
Okay, all right, we got this.
So, Paul, tell me, Toys for Bob, why did you guys decide to take this one on?
We have a long history with Spyro. Obviously, we did the Skylanders games as well.
That's right. That's true. With Spyro and Skylanders, yeah.
Yes. And so when we took this one, we looked at that as 2 different characters, and Spyro was obviously a huge inspiration for the Skylander series, so it was really great for us to return full circle back to the original source and try to make this a new, fresh experience.
The enemies look cool, man. I mean, look at these guys.
Yeah. No, I love it's cartoony and fun, and it's super expressive. That's the other thing. I think it's like the level animation is there's a lot of personality to it, which again, like back in the old days, just didn't have that fidelity to be able to do some of that stuff that you guys are doing now. So it's.
These are the types of games that we love to make at Toys for Bob. They're games that don't take themselves too seriously, and like I said, like back in the 90s, that was a golden age of platformers, so it's great to get that kind of resurgence.
No, Spyro, no! A little too much boost. Got to pull back on it.
You're going crazy, boss. And that's great. And this will be, is it playable over at E3 as well for people to check out?
Yep. These two levels, Toasty and Treetops, are going to be available down on the show floor.
Okay, Toasty and Treetops.
No, Spyro.
And Bossman got the first play. I don't know if we're going to finish.
This is the first. This is the first time everybody's ever seen video of it. And it's just me like goofing off.
I know. This is the reason we don't let YouTubers play games, or at least pre-release games, right? But you're going to make it, Bossman.
Yeah, I'm good.
High pressure. We put the countdown clock. See how you do here. Last shot, Bossman.
Okay.
It looks incredible.
Thank you.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go. Here's the moment. The boost.
Right, you got it.
Go, Kyle.
Go. Turn.
Come on, Bossman.
So,
so close yet so far.
Even if you had made it, that particular jump, you need to chain about 3 different ones to actually find that. So
no,
I'm not going to tell you how to do that, but maybe next time. You're going to need a little bit more practice.
Okay. Great to see you. Thank you, Paul.
Thanks.
Good work.